방 보고 연락드렸는데 방 남아 있어요?
아, 그럼요.
19만 원 맞죠? 그리고 지금
예, 맞아요. 서울에서 그 금액으로 이만한 방 못 구해.
실언 줄 알았어.
아유, 저 아저씨 곧 없어져.
그거 조심해야 되겠던데. 313호 여기 있었던 거 아요?
313호요?
여기 놈 다 미친 놈들아 이거.
야옹아, 안녕.
뭐 하세요? 아무래도 여기 사람들이 되게 이상한 것 같아.
오빠가 너무 예민한 건 아닐까?
오늘은 일 마치고 바로 들어가야죠. 새로 오신 분이죠?
3개월 전에 펜션 살인 났을 때 그때도 그러지 않았어요? 그 다음에 살인사건 발생했잖아요.
전에 살던 사람 것 같은데.
전에 이 방에 살던 사람이 자살했어.
설마.
우리 남편 거기 무섭다고 했어요. 이상한 사람들이 자기 죽이려고 한다고.
분 실종되신 거 아시죠?
그럼 내가 실종 신고했는데.
저희가 원래 이런 곳이 아닌데 놀랬죠?
좀 전에 조폭 아저씨 그 사람이 방 뺀다고 나한테 얘기했어.
난 다음 주에 방 뺄기다.
여기 저 4층이 여자들 방이야. 지금 저 아무도 안 살거든? 그러니까 거기 들어가지 말어. 괜히 다쳐. 여기 이제 정말 좋은 청년들만 남았어, 그치?
그들은 이미 알고 있었다. 이곳이 지옥이었다는 사실을. 타인은 지옥이다.
Hello everyone and good day. I am Ashary Pumbaya and today we're gonna discuss our case analysis about the movie entitled Stranger from Hell together with my group mates ABBAS JALILAH, ASIRA RAIHANA and AINODEN NASHIBAH. So let's start.
Stranger from Hell tells the story of Yoon Jong-Woo, who is a young guy in his 20s who moves from the countryside to Seoul after his college friend, Jae-hoo, offered him a job. While looking for a place to live, he stumbles upon Aiden Si-Wan, a cheap apartment that shares the kitchen and bathroom with the other residents. The story begins with a fresh graduate student named Jong-Woo that immediately looks for a job to financial problems and from a poor family raised by a single mother who wants to help his family. The problem begins here when he decides to move to another place to work and has an opportunity to get a job because his friend is a director of the company and offers a vacant job for him that can help him to survive. He looks for a dorm where he temporarily lives and enough for his budget. He wanted to stay in a place where it was comfortable and safe, but his money was not enough to pay and it's costly.
Jong-Woo, who has only lived her life in a quiet and peaceful countryside his whole life, is excited and at the same time a little apprehensive about the new environment he was going to get in. Every time he gets nervous, he would calm himself, thinking that I am now in Seoul with my girlfriend. Not only that, they would able to meet every day. Yun yung akala niya. There will be definitely more dates. And they will be both living in Seoul. Yun yung akala ni Jong-Woo na dadat niya nga sa Seoul. It was until Boksun gave him the full tour on the entire apartment building that Jong-Woo decided to live in Seoul. The bathroom was absolutely disgusting in that dormitory and unkept, with communal showers and kitchen that looked dreamy and haven't seen any scrub and soap for years. And in addition, the hallway leading in their rooms were very poorly lit, and the walls were so thin that your roommate will hear your voice when you speak. The last thing that made Jong-Woo decided to get out or to get in is that those people in that structure, the one who looked like a thug who's ready to kill someone, and the other to seem quiet but a little bit cocoa in the head, as he laughed over every single thing. And then there was this quiet man who would leave his door open while he masturbated and drove over porn star all day and night. There was those character na nandun sa structure na titirahan niya.
Eden turned out to be a very different apartment building from all the previous ones that Jong-Woo had visited before. Where the apartment buildings before Eden were all lit up and clean, Eden was tiny, dark, musty, and dirty. There is the incident that happened during military service that deeply affected him and shaped his character. When he saw someone fighting in front of him, he would automatically recall this incident that can affect his emotions and mental state. In certain scenes, he has been suffering deep mental issues by imagining beating someone to death before snapping back to reality. Instead of expressing his anger as each situation comes along, he suppresses that for the sake of seniority or respect to elders, those in power.
And as we all know, Jong-Woo decided to live in Eden until he could scrunch up enough money to move to a better apartment. However, even just on the first day, the occupants of Eden have started to get him. So doon pa lang sa pagpasok ni Jong-Woo doon sa apartment, some of the tenants are picking on him just like huge thug guy na pinag-iinitan siya. And the other tenant who lived near at his room, who is very drawn in naked pictures of women. Then, the other tenant is out of his good way of thinking. So, parang, in other words, no, the environment is really, the environment that Jong-Woo is really not good for him. So, especially, this leads him into something.
So yes, that place Eden is completely a stranger environment for Jung-woo. And to be honest, I have no idea what I was expecting when I decided to dive head first into this K-drama. I mean, I knew that it was going to be creepy. I'm more or less prepared mentally, prepared for it, but after the first episode, I don't think any amount of mental preparation could help lessen just how terrifying some of these scenes could be.
I totally agree on what you said, Raihana, that upon the process of the episode, you can see the gradual changes. As the story progresses, it's very obvious that the apartment and the people along with that apartment is getting into Jong-woo. It has shown to the viewers through his gradual sleep in his emotion, especially how he handled his anger. I guess if you would ask me what's the most highlight part of Jong-woo is that how he handled his anger from episode 1 up to episode 10, how his anger turned into something.
Exactly, ABBAS. Thank you. So, let's talk about Jong-woo's girlfriend. And I know, and as we all know, that all of us naman are already watched the video at nakilala natin kung sino yung girlfriend ni Jong-woo. For me, I like her, but then I don't. I appreciate that Min Jeon, which is the girlfriend of Jong-woo, had enough of strength to stand up against her boss, who seemed to try to go out of her way to make it heal for Jin Yoon at work. While I admire her for that the girl has a lot of shortcomings when it comes to be a good girlfriend. What I appreciate kasi sa girlfriend niya is that when it comes to work, she really worked hard. Na kahit alam niyang pinapahirapan siya ng boss niya, she's still doing her best para lang sa work niya. So, yun yung talagang ina-admire ko sa kanya. And with that word, like, na-focus kasi yung mind ng girlfriend ni Jong-woo sa work niya. So, parang she don't have any time to Jong-woo na mas malaki kasi yung time niya sa work niya, which is the girl. Kaya parang nawalan siya ng pansin kay Jong-woo. So, ganun yung nangyari. I understand how demanding work can be in South Korea with all the overtime and ass kissing the boss and whatnot. We get it naman, no, na baka pagod lang yung girlfriend ni Jong-woo sa work kaya wala siyang time kay Jong-woo. But what does not excuse is that how she treats her boyfriend, Jong-woo. There he is in the apartment, slowly losing his mind over his quiet, literally crazy neighbors and stressing over work. Yet every time he called Gion to vent, she would always cut him off. Lalo na nung parang sinabi niyang, "Not today, I'm tired," or "You should just suck it up and deal with it." So like what I have said earlier, no, na parang nawala na ng oras yung girlfriend ni Jonwa sa kanya, like they don't have time to talk to each other or to call each other. So, para bang nawalan talaga siya ng oras, hindi na niya pinapansin what happened to Jonwa. Like nung tinawagan ni Jonwa yung girlfriend niya, nung dumating na siya sa Seoul, so parang sinabi niya, I'm already here, parang ganon. Tapos yung girlfriend niya, ang sinabi lang niya, okay, then that's great. Then, okay, bye, kasi I have so many work to do. So parang, hindi man lang niya inisip or gi-ask kung meron ka na bang matutuluyan, how's your condition in Seoul? Kasi si Jong-Woo kasi, she's from countryside. So as we expect naman sa mga galing doon, naninibago sila sa mga malalaking lugar. So tulad sa scenario ng first episode, no, nung tinawagan talaga niya yon. So let me explain, no, let me enlighten your mind sa nangyari kay Junwa. So si Junwa kasi parang meron siyang problema sa utak, parang gano'n na walang nakikinig sa kanya, na wala siyang makakausap, lahat-lahat parang nag-iisa lang siya sa buhay. So aside from his mental condition, which is not good, so parang dumagdag pa sa kanya, sa mga problema niya, yung apartment niya, which is really nakakatakot, and as we all know that. Kasi some of his boardmate, iba rin yung mga pag-iisip nila, like, I think he feels like he is not comfortable with them. So as we go through to our topic, we will know kung sino yung naka-influence sa kanya to become a killer also.
Oh nga, like hello, I think it's pretty rational to at least be able to lend an ear to her obviously distressed boyfriend. If you can't even do that, how do you even call yourself a girlfriend, diba? Right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Plus, yung boss ni Jong-Ho, who seems to support him actually, is jealous of him being younger and having a beautiful girlfriend.
Not that, diba? Jungwoo's also mentor is so picky. He's against to Jungwoo's also. And keep misleading his false cold demeanor as an indifference, and these characters then seem no different from the studio's residents. Pare-parehas lang yung mga pag-uugali nila na nag-trigger kay Jungwoo to become like that. Kasi yung surroundings niya kasi is yun yung mali eh, yung nakapalibot sa kanya that truly affect his personality.
Yeah.
So yes, let's move on with Jungwoo's work colleagues. So to say that their hustle is absolutely an understatement. The reason why Jungwoo moved to Seoul was because one of his senior in college started a new company and decided to take him and hire him as an intern. Since Jungwoo was new and had no idea what he was doing at all, he was assigned to a senior who was supposed to answer his questions and teach Jungwoo what he doesn't understand. But of course, Strangers from Hell is not a fairyland, and it doesn't tell a story about nice people doing nice things. Jungwoo Sr., instead of being kind and understanding, would randomly yell at him and call him stupid for not understanding simple things like how a PowerPoint should be arranged.
And not only that, girl, he would sometimes deliberately follow Jungwoo to the men's bathroom to tell Jungwoo that he's a show-off who only acted nice but then talked badly behind her back. Kasi masama talaga yung mga nakapalibot na tao sa kanya that trigger him to become like that. Even his mentor, his colleagues, and those people, those stranger people na nandun sa apartment na pinatirahan niya. Another thing, Jungwoo's senior from college who owns the company apparently had a thing for his girlfriend and would constantly try to have a conversation doon sa girlfriend ni Jungwoo. He would be nice to Jungwoo only to suddenly be crass and rude about how Jungwoo is not working hard enough. It's something like, hindi magiging masama si Jungwoo kung hindi masama yung nasa paligid niya. Yun yung naging resulta na.
True, that's true. That's true, Abbas. So, the other character for this movie is Soo Moon-jo, which is a dentist. So, is he kind or not? So, we will know that. Soo Moon-jo, who moved into Eden later on the story, who works as a dentist by day and tortures his victim by forcefully pulling their molar for souvenir before having them killed at night. In other words, he is a demon and a killer. Soo Moon-jo kasi, he has a vision of making Jong-woo as the next serial killer of sorts. I mean, he calls what he does. Killing, torturing, kidnapping, as form of art. So you know what, guys? I really hate the character of Soo Moon-jo here in this movie. Kasi he really pushed Jong-woo to become a killer. No? Na dahil nakitaan niya si Jong-woo na ito may mga dinadamdam, gitrigger niya yung mga damdamin ni Jong-woo. So in that way, parang mas nakuha niya yung loob ni Jong-woo. So parang tinulungan niya. So for example, no, for me, myself, na naka-boarding house ako, tapos I am really furious with my boardmate kasi bukod sa mga pinagdadaanan ko, dumadagdag pa sila. So there is a high tendency, no, na pag may lumapit sa ibang tao, like the character of Soo Moon-jo, parang konsentahin ka na pumatay. So di ba, madadala ka ng mga emotion mo. So in that emotion, pwede kang makapatay ng tao. So ganon.
So, in other words, Vita, kay si Soo Moon-jo, he seems like siya yung nag-press sa button para sumabog lahat. Yeah.
He's crafting him to be like him na psychopath and serial killer.
The reason why kasi, kaya hindi ma-decline ni Jong-woo si the dentist, which is Soo Moon-jo, is that siya lang yung nakakatulong sa kanya or nakikinig sa kanya all the times na may problema siya. So, ganun, di ba?
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
Tayo din naman, no, in ourselves na may taong tumutulong sa atin, pero but we don't know kung ano yung intention niya.
Yes,
So, sino ba naman?
Yes.
We're not perfect. We're only human.
Yes. Yes. So let's move on to alternatives. Dentist Monju and the owner of the Aidin dormitory who uses drugs are the one trigger the mental illness of Jong-woo, who lead them to worsen his mental issues. Jong-woo has been offered many drinks by the landlady without knowing that those drinks has drugs. So hindi alam ni Jong-woo na yung pinapainom sa kanya ng landlady is nilalagyan niya pala ng drugs para maapektuhan yung pag-iisip niya. So Jong-woo tries to avoid those drinks na binibigay sa kanya ng landlady, but the landlady was persistent and Jong-woo has been deceived by the owner since she appeared to be friendly and a good person. Turns out that she has a darkest secret.
So, the owner of the building was helping Dr. Monjo, making Jong-woo into becoming a killer like them since Monjo discovered that Jong-woo is suffering mental illness but suppressing it. So, si Soo Moon-jo at saka yung owner ng apartment is magkasabwat pala. So, the owner of the apartment also is a killer. Hindi lang si dentist na Soo Moon-jo. He does not express his anger. So what Moon-jo did was he always talked to Jong-woo every time, encouraging him to express himself and telling him that he understands Jong-woo, which makes Jong-woo uncomfortable.
So when Jong-woo has those drugs, it triggered his pre-existing mental illness he always had dreamed about, his post-traumatic experience in the military service, which lead him to be violent and paranoid. So it's really true na when a person commits mistake or such severe action, it's because may nag-lead sa kanya noon na talagang hindi maalis sa isip niya. At some point kasi yung tao pag hindi niya ma-handle yung sarili emotion niya, it's may tendency na sa bagay siya nag-express noon, or maybe pwede ring yun yung nagka-craft sa kanya na maging masama, na binabawi niya sa ibang tao yung nangyari sa kanya. So also Monju used drugs to kill a person by injecting them drugs. So at the end of this series, Monju has succeeded in making Jung-woo to be like them, a killer. Jung-woo killed the four of them. So as nakita nga sa movie na si Jung-woo talaga is totally na-influence na ni Monju na maging serial killer, maging next serial killer ng Eden Dormitory.
I totally agree on what you said, Rihanna. And also this movie, it has a lot of twists from episode 1 up to episode 10. And this what hooked me. There is an article which is Rethinking Trust by Roderick M. Kramer. According to Roderick, he presents a thesis that human beings are naturally predisposed to trust. It is in our genes in our childhood learning. And by and large, it's a survival mechanism that has served our species well. According to him, our willingness to trust often gets us into trouble because sometimes we have difficulty on distinguishing who is the trustworthy and who is untrustworthy. To survive as an individual, it is very important for us to learn on how to trust wisely and who should we trust into. Because there are a lot of strangers who pretend to be trusty, pero hindi naman pala. And there are some people na dapat pagkatiwalaan natin, pero hindi natin nakikitang dapat pagkatiwalaan. We should identify that one. Kasi this movie talks about a stranger and how we communicate and how we go along those people na bago lang natin nakilala, kung paano ba natin sila, kung paano natin nafe-feel comfortable, ganun yun eh.
Yes.
So for you guys, what do you think is the proposed solution for this drama?
How about you, Rihanna?
So I think the proposed solution for addressing the challenge of Jung-woo is that he must have listened to his mother, that he should not trust anyone. In the first place, when he feels like he doesn't like staying at the apartment and he doesn't like the other residents who seem weird and suspicious, he should not have stayed long there, and he should not trust even the one who owns that apartment, because it's completely stranger kasi, di ba? She's from another city, then nag-move siya sa Seoul.
Yes,
So,
yes.
in fact, even if the apartment he is looking for is cheap, he should not stay if he observed it is dirty and it seems like the other resident there are weird and suspicious. He should call his girlfriend and senior friend for help. So of course, dapat the moment na nandun siya sa Seoul is he asks a opinion sa girlfriend niya, since yung girlfriend niya is working there and his senior office mate are there also. So it might be a solution or a help for him na hindi talaga umabot sa punto na nandun siya sa sitwasyon, nagkaganon siya, na na-influence siya ni yung dentist.
Yeah, not only the dentist, doon din sa mga sa kanya,
nakapaligid sa kanya.
naapektuhan yung pag-isip niya.
Yes.
Kasi ganito yun. It is very important to know who you socialize with. Kasi, according doon sa pinag-aral natin sa previous topic natin, that socialization is very important to us. Kasi the more we socialize, the more we adopt new. The more we socialize, the more something develop inside us.
Yes.
So, napaka-importante ng mga factor na kinakausap natin araw-araw. Kasi, every time we talk about them, we learn something.
Yes.
Either bad or good.
Yeah.
And nakadepende yun sa atin. But if that environment is still bad and consistent na bad siya, you will probably adopt something bad also.
And I think kasi naging ganun siya kasi wala siyang choice because of he lacks financial stability.
Yeah, true.
He cannot even finance such a fancy apartment.
Moonju have been planting ideas in Jong-woo's head This whole time knowing how hard he was trying to suppress everything inside him. You can say that he basically groomed him to become a killer before getting killed by his creation. From the beginning, he should have avoided the doctor so that he would not get to know him very well, especially since he feels like there is something wrong with the doctor and he feels like he is the most scariest in that dorm. So parang nabaliktad mas Jungwa become getting closer to the doctor. Kasi nga, like what I have said, siya lang yung nalalapitan niya doon sa dorm na yon. But you know, a lesson learned naman to people na who can encounter a scenario like this, do not trust people when you really don't know well. Trust people if you see something na they can bring good to you. So if it is not, distance. Thank you.
Yes, that's true. No, the proposed solution to protect yourself is to pull yourself away into that person kung alam mong hindi ka safe. Because if you insist yourself into toxic, magiging toxic ka din. The impact will be toxic also. The impact will be bad. Do not push yourself or dig yourself down doon sa isang space na hindi okay sa'yo.
Yes.
People can pretend to be good in front of you, and people can treat you without such bad intention to you. So that you as an individual person should secure yourself, especially when you give your trust with other people. Giving trust with other people is not that simple to do. You should think wiser before you trust anyone. Because even yourself, minsan hindi natin mapagkatiwala ng sarili natin. Minsan yung sinasabi natin salita, kinakain natin minsan.
Yes.
That is reality. That's
Yes,
our reality.
It's reality hit.
There's nothing wrong if you will pretend as long as you know that you don't have any bad intention to anyone. Like, if you communicate with anyone, yes, it is okay, but don't dig yourself down na feeling mo you will tie yourself para lang makipag-communicate sana, para mag-strong bond yung relationship niyo. No. You should set a limitation na yung feeling mo safety ka.
Yes.
Hindi mo pwedeng i-push masyado yung sarili mo kasi at the end of the day, ikaw lang yung mag-suffer. That's how it is. No? The scenarios of the movie would probably recommend us to that we should learn and address someone's problems, because upon ignoring them, we don't know how much they severely suffer with disorder that can lead them to psychopath or killer or anything else. We should talk to anyone, lend ears, and have communicate with them. Wala namang mawawala sa makipag-usap sa kanila. Because if you don't, maybe they can lose their mind or turn into something, and you can address if they needed to be treated or they just need an ears to lean on. No? Another thing is, parang kailangan din ni Jong-Woo ng family treatment. Kanang they have to communicate with his family. Kailangan niyang mag-open sa kanyang family kasi sometimes may mga nasa-isip tayo na feeling natin mas comfortable lang tayo sabihin sa pamilya natin. They are the one who know and who will understand you. Na alam natin na kahit i-judge nila tayo, kahit i-judge tayo ng pamilya natin, pamilya pa rin natin yun eh. There's nothing wrong with that. No, the lesson to this is to not trust easily, know someone better. And if you think na your mind is isolated into something, express yourself. Express yourself. Yes, that's it. Yun yung parang na-learn ko in that movie.
Yes.
You must be multifaceted first before setting a decision you need to.
Not nang dahil hindi ka stable, hindi ka financial stable, you should think wisely naman. May mga option naman, marami namang option.
And if you feel like you are new to a place, you must first seek for opinion, diba?
Of others.
Absolutely. So, guys, thank you so much for sharing your ideas about this movie.
Congratulations,
So
everyone.
here it goes.
You guys did it very well.
And to the viewers, please watch this movie. This is very, very good for you guys.
Yes.
First thing foremost, no,
This
bawal po yung
is
So
batang
that's
monocle.
all.
lesson for the beginner na magdo-dorm, to anyone who is suited for this kind of setup.
Yes.
This movie will help you to really foresee what is gonna be happen if you are into situation just like Jungwoo na sitwasyon talaga.
They may not be torn into criminal, pero pwede rin silang maging iba. Like, let's say, some of the boarders, I'm a boarder also, but I have experienced a lot of things being a boarder. No, feeling ko isolated ako, gusto ko makipag-usap pero ayoko, ganun yun eh. Kaya, this is a very good thing for the viewers to watch.
Yes. It might not be an intense situation na ganun literally sa movie na nangyari, but the minor lessons that this movie would impart to you is really helpful talaga.
This will bring you into something by trusting and meeting new people. So guys, thank you
Trust
so much.
and
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
factors.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, that's all.
Such
We're very poorly let